There beside the window lay the quilt my grandma made by hand. Wet and white and faded work shirt cotton, little scraps from years our family shared. There was cloth from Sunday meeting dresses, baby blue from years before my own, winter stains and patches sewn together, every piece a story from our home. Every stitch was holding one more prayer, every patch held love and mercy there. Through the years and every road I'd roam, every stitch would lead my heart back home. Grandma worked beneath the evening lamplight, needle passing slowly through each seam, praying low for children and their children, naming every burden, hope and dream. She was never one for lengthy speaking, never stood to tell what faith should be, but her patient hands and quiet kindness showed the Lord more plainly than words to me. Every stitch was holding one more prayer, every patch held love and mercy there. Through the years and every road I'd roam, every stitch would lead my heart back home. When I left to build a life away from home, far beyond the ridge and mountain pine, Grandma placed that folded quilt before me, pressed her weathered, gentle hand in mine. This is more than cloth, she said so softly. Every piece has carried us this far. God has held this family through the winters, and His love goes with you where you are. Years went by, and on a lonely evening I drew that old quilt up beneath my chin. Wedding cloth and Sunday cotton whispered of the faith still living deep within. Though the mountain house was far behind me, I could feel those prayers around me there, for the love that filled my grandma's needle had not ended when I left her care. Every stitch was holding one more prayer, every patch held love and mercy there. Through the years and every road I'd roam, every stitch would lead my heart back home. Every stitch was holding one more prayer, passed from faithful hands with loving care. Wrapped within that quilt, I understood God had held our family through it all.
Cross split the mountain land in two, one field for him, one field for me. We shared a plow, a rusted saw, and worked that stubborn ground for years. We helped each other bring crops in, rode to church along one road, till words about an old fence line became a heavy load. Grace crossed the fence before I did, before my pride would let me bend. God moved first through my brother's hand. Grace crossed the fence before I did. We passed like strangers on the lane, each looking straight beyond the glass. And Sunday found us far apart on separate pews beneath one roof. Each man kept working his own side, each heart pulled tight as twisted wire. That fence stood barely waist high, but pride had raised it higher. Grace crossed the fence before I did, before my pride would let me bend. God moved first through my brother's hand. Grace crossed the fence before I did. A hard wind rolled across the ridge and tore the corner fencing down. His cattle crossed before the dawn and wandered through my lower ground. I found him there in morning light, turning them back through broken wire. He said no word but held out to me a hammer by the fallen line. We set the post and pulled the wire, our work-worn hands moved side by side. The words came slow but not too late, and little by little anger died. The Lord did not erase the hurt or mend it with one sudden sign. He gave us strength to build again what pride had broken over time. Grace crossed the fence before I did, before my pride would let me bend. God moved first through my brother's hand. Grace crossed the fence before I did. By evening every post stood firm, the wire ran straight across the hill. But where the broken line had been, we built a gate and left it wide. Grace crossed the fence before I did, and mercy met us side by side. Down in the hollow by the creek, I worked the iron red, mended plows and horseshoes and hinges for the shed. My hammer rang against the anvil, bright sparks crossed the floor, while winter pressed against the walls and neighbors filled the door.
We kept the forge fire burning, while mercy passed from hand to hand. We worked with what the Lord had given, and helped each neighbor as best we could.
I fed the flame and swept the hearth, kept coffee on the stove. I wrote each name within the book, but never pressed what they still owed.
Some brought eggs or shelled out corn, some split a load of wood, and some had only empty hands. We served them all we could. We kept the forge fire burning, while mercy passed from hand to hand. We worked with what the Lord had given, helped each neighbor as best we could.
Each morning ere the bellows breathed, we bowed beside the flame.
Give us strength for honest work and kindness without name.
But week by week the coal sank low, the bend showed more bare ground.
We spoke our fears in quiet words when no one else was around.
Still I shaped the broken iron,
Still I kept the ledger plain.
we could not promise what would come.
We only worked each day.
Then spring came walking through the pass, and neighbors came once more. One brought coal upon his wagon, one stacked firewood by the door. Some brought meal and garden seed, some patched the leaking tin.
And hands we'd serve through winter time put strength back in again.
No gold had fallen from the sky,
No debt had disappeared,
but every kindness we had given
had traveled through the year. We kept the forge fire burning while mercy passed from hand to hand. The glow that warmed our little workshop had spread across the mountain land. We kept the forge fire burning with honest work and hearts made strong. And there beside the shining anvil, we learned that grace keeps moving on. Winter left the pantry bare, then frost came late in May and burned the tender garden rose before they saw the day. Above the hearth in morning light, my mother's old jar stood, filled with beans her hands had saved through years both hard and good. I held them in my open palm and counted what remained, enough to fill my pot a while or plant the ground again. I planted what I couldn't afford to lose and trusted God with what the earth would do. Faith was not knowing how the season would end. It was opening my hand and planting again. I kept a handful for the stove and saved the better share, then carried them beyond the gate with worry and a prayer. Lord, give me wisdom for this ground and courage while I wait. Help me tend what I have been given and leave the rest to faith. I pressed each bean in broken soil, then covered every row, not knowing which would meet the sun or which would never grow. I planted what I couldn't afford to lose and trusted God with what the earth would do. Faith was not knowing how the season would end. It was opening my hand and planting again. The rain washed some beyond the fence, the blackbirds claimed a few, and empty spaces marked the rows where nothing ever grew. Still every morning, hoe in hand, I walked the garden through. I pulled the weeds, I mended stakes, and did what I could do. By summer's end the vines were thin, no bounty filled the field, but there was food enough to keep and seed enough to seal. I filled that old jar to the rim and set it by the flame, then folded seeds in paper squares and wrote each neighbor's name. One went east across the creek, one climbed the western hill, and what had seemed too small to share was living farther still. I could not rule the frost or rain, nor claim the harvest mine, but I could guard what love had saved and place it in God's time. I planted what I couldn't afford to lose, and trusted God with what the earth would do. Faith was not knowing how the season would end. It was opening my hand and planting again. Now morning shines upon the jar, and beans grow through the valley too. I kept enough to carry on and gave away what carried me through.
Before the sun had touched the ridge, he stepped outside his cabin door. With lantern, pick, and metal pail, his wife had packed the night before. There was coffee in a little flask and cornbread wrapped up well, beside a page his father saved from an old church hymnal. It held the words he learned as a boy in the chapel down below, a plain old song to carry faith where Sunday light could never go. He carried Sunday in his lunch pail down where the daylight could not go, a folded hymn and bread to share. He carried Sunday down below. The company cut the working hours and worry filled the mind. Men spoke of flowers, shoes, and rent, then stepped back to the line. At dinner time they sat on stone where water traced the wall, with timber creaking overhead, no one speaking much at all. A younger man said, "I am scared, I've tried but cannot pray." The old hand broke his bread in two and passed one half his way. He carried Sunday in his lunch pail down where the daylight could not go, a folded hymn and bread to share. He carried Sunday down below. He did not preach or promise ease, nor say their fear was wrong. He took the faded paper out and softly began the song. One voice joined, then two or three, still low beneath the ground, till words they knew from long ago put courage in the sound. The hour stayed short, the wages small, the work was waiting still, but every man rose from that stone with strength to finish out the shift. Faith was not the chapel bell or Sunday close alone. It walked beside a working man through timber, dust, and stone. It lived within a quiet tune, a prayer too weak to speak, a piece of bread passed hand to hand when one man's heart grew weak. He carried Sunday in his lunch pail down where the daylight could not go, a folded hymn and bread to share. He carried Sunday down below. At evening when he climbed the grade and saw the fading sky, he folded up his father's hymn and laid it safe inside. The troubles waited past the gate, but this much he had learned: Lord was not for Sunday only. His grace went where He worked.
I left the little schoolhouse young to help my mother there at home. I rocked the baby, swept the floor, and learned to make do on my own. I knew some words, I signed my name, could count the change and keep it straight. But when a letter reached my hands, I'd smile and say, it's getting late. At church I sang the hymns by heart and kept my eyes above the line. For shame can build a quiet room inside a heart for years at a time. The schoolhouse lamp kept burning till the words of grace were mine. One slow page, one steady hand, the Lord led me line by line. When all my children left the ridge and silence settled in the rooms, I walked to see my teacher then, where late summer roses bloomed. I said, Miss Ruth, I know I'm grown, but could you teach me even now? She pulled a chair beside her own and said, we'll start with what you know. 3 nights a week when darkness fell, we met where I had been a child. A lamp stood on the wooden desk, an open Bible at its side. The schoolhouse lamp kept burning till the words of grace were mine. One slow page, one steady hand, the Lord led me line by line. I turned my letters wrong some nights, forgot the words I knew before. And once I closed my copybook and said I could not try once more. She gave me time, then passed it back and waited while I dried my eyes. There's no disgrace in learning late, we'll take it one more line at a time. For many months we sounded words and filled each page with crooked lines, till I could read the verse she marked inside my mother's Bible there. My voice was low, my hand still shook. I missed one word and read it twice, but every line made sense to me. I did not need another's eyes. No sudden gift had cleared the road, no voice had spoken from above. God gave me courage to begin and patient hands that taught with love. Then at my kitchen table late, I broke my daughter's letter seal and read each line from first to last. Each word was mine, and each was real. The schoolhouse lamp kept burning till the words of grace were mine. One slow page, one steady hand, the Lord led me line by line. The schoolhouse lamp kept burning through every fear I left behind. Now I read beneath my own lamp's glow and thank the Lord for time.
We had one table made by hand, an iron stove, a bed, a quilt her mother pieced for us, and pine boards overhead. That first hard rain came through the roof and filled our pans below. I watched her move the buckets round and felt my courage go. I said, you should have had much more than this old cabin brings. The rain beat hard against the tin like hammers striking strings.
We sang while the roof was leaking, and Grace kept rhythm with the rain. The storm rolled on, the buckets filled, but fear could not divide us then. I saw the shame upon his face, though he would hardly speak. The fire was low, the wind came through the cracks beside the door.
I said I did not marry walls nor shingles straight and new.
I came to build a life from scratch and build it here with you.
Then from the hymns we knew as children, I started one familiar line. He found the words and joined me there, his weathered hand in mine.
We sang while the roof was leaking, and Grace kept rhythm with the rain. The storm rolled on, the buckets filled, but fear could not divide us then.
At morning I replaced the boards the winter rain had bowed.
I held the ladder firm below and passed the nails up one by one.
I patched the roof with second-hand tin, one narrow sheet a day.
I stitched thick curtains for the cracks and kept the coffee warm.
Some nights the wind still found a way,
Some mornings brought more rain,
but every time the trouble came,
we faced it side by side.
the Lord did not command the clouds to turn and leave our hill. He gave us strength to do the work and love to keep us near.
Board by board and year by year that little cabin grew.
A room, a porch, young apple trees, a home made strong and true.
We sang while the roof was leaking, and Grace kept rhythm with the rain. The storm rolled on, the buckets filled, but fear could not divide us then. We sang while the roof was leaking, and learned what makes a dwelling stand. Not perfect walls, but faithful hearts. God's mercy, work in willing hands.